specialty coffee and why it's special is because the love that goes into it and the love for it. And it really is such a deep expression of love, all those little steps in the way
Hmm.
that in some cases didn't need to be there. In some cases, could have been shortcut. Um, and definitely in a lot of cases, as we see, like there is now probably easier ways for someone to go about making a living and getting cash in hand. And as we get squeezed and as things get harder, more and more importantly, how valuable is this to us? How much do you really value it?
Mm.
Because hey, is it going to be there next year and the year after?
This episode is proudly brought to you by Mapper Forward's workshop. It's time to become a coffee consultant. Learn how to diversify your revenue streams and create freedom from your day job while saying goodbye to that alarm clock forever by becoming a consultant within the coffee industry or directly to consumers who have shifted towards home brewing and home roasting. Protect your income from challenging times in the coffee value chain by taking this course today. Go to mapperforward.coffee/workshops or click the link in the show notes for details. Welcome to the Daily Coffee Pro by Mapper Forward, friends. I'm your host, Lee Safar, and this is episode 3 of a great 5-part series with Nolan Hirte from Proud Marys and Aunty Pegs. Welcome again, Nolan.
So
We are talking about how did we get here and where are we going in direct reference to the coffee crisis that we're currently in. And in this episode, we're going to talk about how special is specialty coffee. Now, in preparation for this series, I had a conversation with a friend of mine who actually owns the company of the shirt that I'm wearing, Cartel Coffee Roasters, in Abu Dhabi and in Dubai. So shout out to Nasser Al-Maskari. Nasser is someone who I really appreciate the way that he thinks about coffee. He's very intentional with the coffees that he and his team pick and present to the public. They're very intentional about it, and they're very intentional about the coffee experience that they provide. Nasser and his team do that, but Nasser thinks very intentionally about the way that he wants to build cafes. When we were talking about this series and when we were talking about specialty coffee, I asked him, what would you ask Nolan? And he sent me a couple of questions that he would ask you. One of them really hit me with this episode. And he was talking about businesses, building specialty coffee businesses. And he said, given what you see happening in cafe businesses, would you open another branch or you don't feel confident enough in the health of the industry at the moment? And the reason I think that this is so relevant with regards to this episode is because when I got into specialty coffee, we hadn't even figured out it was called specialty coffee. We knew it was different from Lavazza and Illy and Segafredo at the time, right? We worked in the other kind of coffee. And that was the Toby's Estates and the Camposes and the St. Ali's at the time, right? Like back really, really early days when all of that was rolling out. And then Proud Mary's comes along and really starts helping us understand that there is this different echelon of coffee experiences that Australians really gravitated towards.
yeah,
Now, when I think about Nasser's question, I think about what this specialty coffee industry did to separate itself out from the majority of the coffee industry where most of the consumers are. And we have a saturated market of specialty coffee shops around the world with deeply, beautifully passionate specialty coffee professionals and business owners. And a lot of them aren't running viable businesses.
yeah,
And because of that, that's dragging down businesses like Prouds and like Stitch and like Cartel, like the as those businesses struggle to hold on, they're also dragging down the other businesses in the industries in the industry that are running viable businesses and are performing or are participating in the supply chain in a really beautiful way. They're paying above the cost of production, or they're paying what the producer wants. They're buying the right coffees. They're doing the educating to the consumer. They're constantly innovating, etc., 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 etc.
Yeah.
So when Nasser asks, would you open another branch?
Yeah.
Looking at the market the way that it is now, how do you approach answering something like that?
Well, first of all, 1,000%, yes, I would open another branch. There's some really important reasons why I would open another branch. Would I open another one in Melbourne?
Probably not.
Pretty tough. Is there a reason why I moved from Australia to the US? Absolutely. Was it the right thing? 100%. It was actually really important to me. Like if I reflect on the journey a little, we were super fortunate to be where we were. Timing, with what we knew, with what we could kind of see was coming, and we got to be the first players in Melbourne alongside Mark Dundon and Andrew Kelly's, and a couple like early players. And as you mentioned, like Toby's in Campos and Sydney were that's really where it started for Australia. And we got to come along and kind of make it cool and hit,
Yeah.
That was the start. And as it rapidly grew around us, it took really like 5 years to really catch up. Then it really caught up. And there was so much noise around us.
Yeah.
That it got really murky for the customer. And suddenly, like I came on this trip to Portland to have a look at Portland, and as a family, and we came in August. It was beautiful here. And on the plane back, I was like, there's no way in hell that I could leave Melbourne and risk everything I've worked so hard for to move to the other side of the world and start again. And when I got back to Melbourne, I got back to the cafe, and straight away I'm behind the till at the cafe, and I'm checking out a couple of customers. Hey guys, how was everything? And normally the standard response was like, "Oh my God, so good! Thank you so much. It was amazing." That was like, we had that for many years. We had the run. And then all of a sudden I was like, yeah, it was okay, I guess. And I'm looking at the bill of what they had, and they had an incredible geisha pour over.
Yeah.
And they had the porridge or the oatmeal, which was from groats that we had milled and soaked and turned into like we were going to extreme lengths to produce just really special things and to make these really magical moments. And it was falling on this like somewhat like, whatever. Like we've got so many options in Melbourne, and what this? I would love to be appreciated again for what we do. And the opportunity was to take that Melbourne cafe model and drop it somewhere that it would be unique again, and it would be interesting again. And it definitely ruffled feathers moving to Portland, and there's such a deep coffee culture here, and such an important part of the US coffee culture comes from Portland. It's kind of like heralded for the beginning of third wave, but it did not mean it couldn't have a different flavor added to it, or a different perspective, or a different way to approach it. And so it had been really well received in Portland, and you would, to the point that you would say it's had a really amazing influence on the industry in Portland. And now you would see some different perspectives on how to present coffee, but also brunch itself has kind of more flowers on the plate and some more interesting things, not the same
Right.
Same diner experience that it was for a long time. And so that has been really cool for us to pioneer something different. And since then, moving to Austin, Texas. Now, there are more people living in Texas than there are in Australia. And there is not really that many Australian cafes or that model, or kind of
Yeah.
like, again, it's unique. And so there's something that lights up inside of me, Lee, that is like,
Mm,
makes me feel like Peter Pan, where I'm like, oh, I'm still living this freaking moment where I'm blowing someone's mind with
yeah.
what it is that we're doing. And that fuel goes all the way back to Melbourne, where we continue to stand true and
Hmm.
stand firm in what it is that we love and believe in, because it gets fucking appreciated.
Yeah.
And that appreciation is so important. It makes it all worthwhile. And um, I'm really excited about what comes next for Austin, where the industry can go. And I really would love to push and help uh, others grow their business into something meaningful. And when the question is like, hey, would you, so saturated and so blah blah blah, yeah, would you keep doing it? Yes, I would keep doing what I'm doing, but I need to get clearer about who I am and what I'm offering and why it's unique and special. And so we need to get better at understanding ourselves. It's no good if you're trying to follow someone, you're trying to be like someone else. Man, fuck, be careful. Look out, because you're not always following the right person. You need to know who the fuck you are. Who are you?
Word.
Because
Word.
that's what's special, and when you can share um just what it is about what you love and what it makes you go, that's what we buy, that's what we enjoy, and that'll work always. And uh, uh some places are more challenging than others, obviously. Like that question needs to be specific to, should I open up here,
Right.
and again, it's going to fall back to, well, what's your value proposition that you're bringing to it. And for us, we have felt like we've got something valuable to offer and share, and it needs to go other places, not just one spot and be 10 in one spot. I've had more fun, even though it's been way riskier and way more challenging and super stressful, and come at a cost to be in such different locations. There's also been this beautiful benefit to it that has been growing different audiences
Mm,
and sharing something that we love with a different audience. And some of the other challenges that are really beautiful are like not being able to micromanage, not being able to fix the toilet when it breaks. Actually, the manager is going to have to learn how to do that, and we'll mentor you from afar.
hmm.
But we each have to kind of pick up our own and be a part of it. And I get really frustrated when people come to me and think what can I get? What can I
Yeah.
what can I get? What are you offering me? No, no, no. Hang on. What can we all do? What can we all do together to make something really fucking beautiful? What bits can we contribute? Not what can we take? Um, and yeah, and so yes, there's always room, but you have to be really clear about what it is that you're offering, what it is that you're doing, why are you doing it, what's that there for you, and because it doesn't come easy, and it is a sacrifice, and it has come at a cost. And um uh would I do it again? Of course, totally. But it was super challenging, and I'm lucky I still have a wife, and I still have my kids around me, and we have a family. That family is a sacred thing
Hmm.
that I'm trying my best to look after first, and myself first. And um, this industry is super taxing, and so it's tough on family for sure.
You have to be a special kind of crazy
Mm.
to do what we do. To
100%.
build businesses in this industry and build them well is a special kind of crazy. And this is why I always caution people that, like, I know you think you love coffee, but do you love it enough for it to compromise everything that you and challenge everything that you stand for? So I want to tell you what I just heard you say about what specialty coffee is. For Nolan Hirte and for Proud Marys and Aunty Pegs, specialty coffee is creating an experience that's meaningful for everybody who gets to touch it and doesn't compromise on what it's trying to create. It's like a love language that means something to the people who are a part of the brand. It's not about an 80 and above cup score. It's not about light roast, medium roast, dark roast. It's not about where did you get your cups from. It's about all of the meaning behind the reasons why you're doing something.
Yeah. No, totally.
And that's what makes specialty coffee special for your brand.
Yeah, no, it's so cool. It's such a beautiful thing. Like, again, like you mentioned, we're privileged and we are to be able to enjoy such incredible products and to even be able to drink some of them. And I've been like really fortunate to be able to be on many juries, like in
cupping juries.
Yeah, getting to see
competition juries.
Yeah, getting to see these great examples of what is possible or what is out there. And the more I've like tried to educate my palate or to understand how to analyze and score coffee, the more I've like tried to simplify what it is that I'm doing and take away the distractions and just listen to what the coffee is offering. And if I'm in a really zen state and I've got no distractions around me and it's just me in this like bowl of coffee and the coffee's speaking and it's telling me its story, and it's such a beautiful thing. It's like
it's poetic.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. Like Lee, I'm really interested right now in other ways that I can describe the experience. And I always have these experiences myself where it's kind of psychedelic, honestly. There's imagery, there's colors, there's things happening, and we write down tasty notes like it's a fruit. And yes, those fruits appear, there's all these flavor notes, but texturally, how it feels, there's a bunch happening. And I love it. It's really cool. And so bringing people along and expanding the audience of those experiences does not get old
at all.
I love it. I love it. It's like the Pied Piper. We're trying to like kind of come along. Like there is something really beautiful to these copies, and I've learned to be a bit more gentle about it when I can with my friends and new people to it. But always I can't help but like share these special copies, and
and I've got to say something, Nolan.
Yeah, please.
If you're listening to this and you are an employee in this industry and you have the very fortunate opportunity or are in the very fortunate opportunity to work for somebody that is as passionate about building a business and a brand as what like someone like Nolan is, and you see it as a job and not a calling that you can be a part of, get the fuck out of there and leave that position open for somebody who wants it. Please, I beg you.
Yeah, it does suck, doesn't it? Like hospitality, when you have the opposite experience, when you have someone that um isn't connected to it, maybe, and doesn't really care, and it can be pretty deflating. I
What
do
we do
think
is
though,
hard,
yeah,
Nolan. It's
yeah, yeah,
really
yeah,
fucking hard. And the rewards in it are not massive. We don't do Wall Street stuff, right?
yeah.
So there's a reason Wall Street bankers walk around with all this bravado because of how much they're fucking making, and we walk around very humbly.
Mm.
Because our wins are different. Our wins are when we get to have the opportunities like what you got to see with the
Well,
coffee producer in Honduras, right?
I mean, let's check in on that for a second, because that is kind of some of the false illusions that we've created in this world, where we
Right.
see success as, oh, look at that guy walking around with loads of cash.
Yeah.
How successful. Guarantee you that that person has extreme challenges in
100%.
being and being in their own skin. We all are faced with um, really tough times, especially living the way that we live,
Yeah.
because actually, like, we're far more complex than we totally realize, and we ultimately we need connection to people and really to ourselves. And when we can be kind to ourselves, and when we
Mm-hmm.
can look at ourselves with joy or with love and say nice things to ourselves, instead of, suddenly we become the author of our own universe, and it can be a really beautiful place to be in. And so yeah, it's really, again, I guess what I'm trying to speak to is what we value, what is valuable in this life and what's not, and why is that why is that success and not this? And we kind of get lost in what was sold to us. And I really think part of what we're trying to do, specialty coffee, and why it's special, is because the love that goes into it and the love for it. And it really is such a deep expression of love, all those little steps in the way
Mm-hmm.
that in some cases didn't need to be there. In some cases, could have been shortcut. Um, and definitely in a lot of cases, as we see, like, there is now probably easier ways for someone to go about making a living and getting cash in hand. And as we get squeezed and as things get harder, more and more importantly, how valuable is this to us? How much do you really value it?
Mm-hmm.
Because, hey, is it going to be there next year and the year after? If we went from 60 pickers in Honduras on Pinot de Oro to 15 this year, how many's coming back next year? Which part of the farm did we lose? Is that Pacamara still going to show up? And that's like someone, again, that has been fortunate enough to be able to enter competition, to be able to kind of like
Mm-hmm.
win an award. Um, what's happening in Ethiopia? I mean, I can't speak to it the same way I can Honduras. I haven't spent enough time there on the
Mm-hmm.
ground. Um, but yeah, we are faced with some big challenges, and we are faced with some decisions to make. And those decisions are holding more weight than ever on, like,
Yeah.
what's the right thing here, for us to do. And I where it can get confusing maybe is the price just going up for the sake of it. The price should go up, but it should go up for the right reasons too. We need to be, yeah, I'd love to be supporting the people that are really doing the right things, and are trying to reinvest into making something really special and sustainable. And um, I think we all kind of want that, with no matter where we get our products from, no matter what industry. It's becoming more and more valuable to us to um, know that it was done the right way,
Yeah.
to know that things weren't harmed in the process. because unfortunately, a lot of the things that are available to us in the world come from a couple of places or a couple of like big corporations
Mm-hmm.
that have different interests in mind, and that's so I think we I think we need to keep forging a path forward with a higher tier and a higher price for what is something that's uniquely special, and it isn't going to be readily available everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. The part of this conversation that we haven't talked about is the consumer.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
in the next episode, folks, we're going to take this discussion to the viability of the business model of all these beautiful things that Nolan's just said. And we're going to start talking about the viability of the business model. And I specifically want to talk about the role of the consumer in all of this. Because for me, that is the most complex of all of the roles in this crisis. Because for me, a lot of what's happening from our end in this crisis has been incrementally increasing up until now, but it's not new. The consumer is experiencing a different kind of crisis. So join us for the next episode where we start deep diving into that. Peace, love, and peanut butter. Have an amazing rest of your day. I really hope you enjoyed this episode, friends. Please don't forget to show us some love by subscribing, liking, commenting, and most of all, sharing this podcast with your friends. Check the show notes for links, including our sponsors and our Patreon. And stay tuned for more great conversations on the Daily Coffee Pro by Map It Forward.